Happy Friday. It has been a couple of weeks since I have filmed my weekly reads. I was traveling for work last week, so we didn't do a ton of reading and just didn't have time to film. So here is everything that I've read in the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to start with the books I don't have physical copies of. I read, or I rather listened to the final episode. I gave it 4 stars. I also listened to Show Don't Tell by Curtis Sittenfeld. This is a short story collection. Overall, I gave it 4 stars. There were some that I liked better than others. I also read Nosferatu, and this was wild, way scarier than I expected. I need to get a physical copy because this is a 5-star read for me. I also read The Serial Killer Support Group, and I actually had 2 of these, 2 books with that same title that were on my review TBR. This was the one by Saratoga Schaefer. I really enjoyed it. It's 5 stars for me. The other was a DNF. I finally read Don't Let the Forest In, and I'm really mad at myself that I waited so long because it was amazing. It was 5 stars. I also read Red Rabbit Ghost, and I did post a full review of this. I unfortunately did not vibe with this one. I gave it 1 star. I listened to Count My Lies, and I thought it was okay, so I ended up giving it 3 stars. I also listened to Night of the Mannequins, and this was super weird. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan, but I do love everything Stephen Graham Jones writes. This one is probably my least favorite that I've read, so I gave it 2 stars. And then I recently finished Julie Tudor Is Not a Psychopath, and I almost DNF'd this one several times because it was really uncomfortable. This is basically like the baby reindeer type of story. It was well written, but it really made me uncomfortable, so I gave it 2 stars for that. And for books that I have physical copies of, I read Station 11. I absolutely loved this book. It was so good, 5 stars. I had a really good last couple reading weeks. I also gave 5 stars to Into the Drowning Deep. This was what I was reading while I was traveling, and I was listening to the audiobook. And this is scary and wild and so good. I also read A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I thought this was very cute. I think I probably liked the first one a little bit better, but I really enjoyed this overall. I still gave it 4.5 stars. I also listened to Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks, and I don't think that Ivy is the author for me. I gave this one a 2.5 stars. I nearly DNF'd it several times. And in fact, I have read and already the next book in this series called Heartstrings, which I think comes out this late summer, early fall. Yeah, I don't think Ivy's the author for me. Her writing feels very cringy and the comedy is not my style. I've been continuing my Kristen Hanna journey, so I read The Four Winds. This was very well. The story just wasn't something that I really enjoyed, but I did give it 4 stars. Definitely not my favorite, but still a very good Kristen Hanna story. I think she does historical fiction really well. I finished reading the Seasons of Revenge series. I previously read book 1 and 3. So I read Cruel Summer, which is book number 2. I enjoyed this one. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but I did enjoy it overall, so I gave it 4 stars. And then I also read The Ick Factor. I loved this one a lot. I thought the comedy was really funny. I did think it was kind of overdone, the amount of times they talked about the ick factor, but I was very pleased with how the story ended. The spice was good, the banter was good, so I gave this one 4.5 stars. And then I also finally read The Unmaking of June Farrow. I am now through, I think, all of the Adrienne Young books that I have. Sea of Unspoken Things is my favorite, but I loved this one even so. This was an absolute 5 stars for me. The romance in here, the time travel elements, this is what I need, especially man, if I'm coming off of an Outlander hangover, this scratches that itch, and I loved it for that. So really great couple of reading weeks. I'm currently reading/listening to Project Hail Mary and reading The Unseen by Anaya Allborn. So that's what I've got going on. Let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts are.